Hello and welcome back to Cynthia's Conversation. On today's topic is about polygamy. Are we going back to our traditions and culture? But first, let me introduce my panel. On my left hand side, I have Yvonne, my one and only.
Hello,
and then on my right, I have my beautiful Amaka.
Hiya.
All right. The reason why I want us to talk about this topic, there's been a lot going on the internet at the moment. You know, they have a Ghanaian actor who was saying whether they should promote side chick to become wives. So technically,
legalized side chicks, or there should be no side chicks, basically.
You know, legalize polygamy. And then there was another Nigerian Nollywood actress who said, you know, she's praying for her own husband, but if God give her yours, who is she to reject it? Ooh.
So that means she wants to be a second wife
and
or
then
a side
there was
chick.
another one, which is another Nollywood actress as well, that said she preferred married men because her tradition, her culture and religion allows her to marry any man who has a wife before. And yesterday on the internet, a woman actually went a step further, marry a wife for her husband. So my question is, ladies, are we going back to our culture? Are we willing to go back and take our culture? And we are tired of this Western nice culture that we have here. So I'll go to you first, Yvonne. What do you think?
That's a hard one, honestly, because I think for me the question is what's happened? Why this sudden change, you know? But then on saying that, I'm seeing that everything seems to be, there's been a big turnaround now. We seem to all be coming to Africa. I mean, look at the music industry, look at the films. So I think there's this change now, and slowly everybody's coming to Africa. You know, maybe because there's now awareness, maybe because we're now talking so much about why we want to be what we are. But then it still asks that question, why, you know, what's brought this on? You know, are we tired of staying in the one woman, one man relationship? It's a very difficult one. I don't really have a big answer
I'll let you
to it.
keep to your thoughts.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, because I discussed with that, yeah, one woman, now, like, I saw a documentary, some lady was black African woman, or black American was interviewing another black woman. You were saying one woman, one wife.
Yeah.
Now, the question she asked, are we going back to our culture? Should we go back to our culture? Because this woman now asked the interviewer, who told us about one woman, one wife? Who brought the culture about one woman, one wife? One, the woman was like, what's of morals? Who taught us the morals? And the woman now said to her, as the interviewer now said to her, okay, what of your religion? She said, who brought the religion? Do you understand? So that it got me thinking.
Yeah.
Right, because in our grandparents' days or our ancestors' days, there was no side chick. Our fathers and grandma allowed to marry more than 1, 2, 3, 4 wives. Abi?
Yeah. And then I think it was only because of...
No, so it's not because of it, because now they still do it.
Yeah.
A lot of them still do it. If you go back home, those people that really go into tradition, they marry one and they live happy.
Yeah.
Now a lot of us have imbibed this Western culture. And they've told us that one person, one woman is one wife, one man, one wife. But is it working? It's not working. It's actually, which is why there are loads of side chicks. Is it working? I'll probably struggle because I've got in my head a very Western, you know, I've been into the Western culture. But those that I have an auntie who's late now, who married as a 4th wife. And that was actually, you know, to her it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. Cynthia said somebody married a wife, but you know, in where we come from, if a man has a wife, the women have married wives for if they don't have any more children. And do you understand? So should we go back? It's a difficult one because we've been imbibed, a lot of us have been imbibed into the Western culture, so we will struggle.
Okay. I flip the coins, okay? When we say, I love my tradition, there are some aspects of my tradition that I love and I admire. But there are some that I disagree. Maybe because I have been part of this Western part that makes me disagree with that part of it. But my question is, if we're going to go back to embrace our culture and our tradition, are we going back to our spiritual tradition. Because yes, I can say when I was brought up in a polygamous home, it wasn't great. So in my eye, I would say that it wasn't great. But my mom would probably think it otherwise because she was
She didn't know better.
She did exactly, and she was fine with that. You know, I have a lot of brothers and sisters. You know, my children have a lot of aunties and uncles.
They're probably younger than that.
And they have like, you know, a lot of
Nieces and
nephews, you know, and it's okay. I am part of a big family. I love that part of it. So my question is, when we say we want to go back to our culture and our tradition, I'm happy with that. Because to me, this Western culture that we have adapted has not favored we Africans in what way whatsoever. Whether it's the religions or even this so-called polygamy, one man, one wife. It still doesn't, because there are so many children out there who have a part-time father because the man is legally married to somebody else, their mom is a side chick to this man, and the children becomes the disadvantaged children. If they are legally married, just the same way they married the one back home, then the children will be legitimized as well, and the man will have to split his time between this. That brings me back to that same part of, are we going to adapt to our own spiritualism?
Because but this topic is about culture when it comes to marriage.
No, I agree, because we can't pick and choose.
Yeah, so I know. I'm not, but for me,
you see what I mean. We can say yes. There are so many women now who are now side chick to men. You know, who are, the man is married, she's well looked after, she's happy with that. You might be happy with that. Is these children getting the 100% from their father?
So you're saying they should all live
I think not the same house.
Let me give you a different perspective. There are women that are happy to be side chicks and don't want anything more than
that's what they say. Nah.
No, but
did you hear what I just said? I said the woman might be
happy, but the other woman, the wife.
No, the woman might be happy, and the other woman might not have an idea whether the husband has
legitimize.
My question is, the children that are brought into this relationship are not having the 100% of the relationship because they have been the one being kept
in secret.
In secret.
So if they're not
So if you want to legalize it, if the one home knows that my husband have another
so today
wife,
spending 2 nights here,
and there's the same thing with the children. So when he's with the other women, so it's not when the time permits him or when the wife allows him. So it becomes like she knows he's in the other house. So for me, really, we are adults. We can control our emotions. You can control our emotions. You can control our emotions. But our children, are they brought up to control this emotion? Are we going to bring up our child in this web of lies? Because if the father, he can come to the room, hide to say, I came to see my children when they are 5 or 6 years old. But when these children get to that, you know, adulthood, and they're going through their puberties, that they don't understand what is going on. Are they going to guide them? Are you going to live in this same bubble with the lie? And then you want that child to grow up to be great.
On that note, then my answer would be yes. They should legitimize it.
Thank you.
And I'll give you the reason for that. But this is more like, I'm giving this reason because this was an example that I grew up with, and this is a true story. But I had my cousin who was the 4th wife into a Muslim. This was a Muslim family.
Not the same person.
Well, 4th wife, but the man, you know, 4 wives. He married 4 wives because his religion allows him to marry 4 wives. And each wife was well catered for, you know. And I remember when I used to go to the house, and the wives used to fight because somebody changed the rota, because they had the rota. They had rota. No, not cook. No.
Who was going to sleep?
Who is going to sleep? Who is going to sleep?
Supposing the rota that day on your period, the rota.
You slept with your favorite.
Go on.
Okay, you go. The last week is
so next week when you're a period,
No, honestly, really, this was really like, and there was fights. Like, no, it's my turn. No, it's my turn. Because, I mean, he was, okay, like I said, this is a very good example. It might not apply to everybody. The man was very, educated, well said. He knew what he was doing. He catered for every wife was not found wanting. So it was a case that he had his own, but you see, he wasn't living with any of them. He had his own quarters, and
so when the woman annoying you, just
so exactly no, you do. So every wife knew which day was their turn to be with Alaji. And equally as he catered for it, and that's how he also equally catered for the children. Now, in relation to your question, now that's where legitimizing it works, because now this guy knows he's doing all this, you know. But I think if we go into the different scenarios, you know, there are side chicks with children, there are side chicks. I mean, there are people I know who just want to just be side. They don't want the commitment. They don't really care.
I'm not saying
which is fine.
You're talking about children.
No. Which is I'm coming.
If they don't have children, then it's okay.
No, which is fine. But then they have to now. It's now on them to now decide how they. I know people that are not married, that are side chicks, that have children, and they are well taken care of. So I think at the end of the day, the onus is down to the person and what she wants. Because even when you legitimize it, it depends on what whoever is in that situation is putting out. And that's a fact. There are some people that will tell you, well, I have children, if it's not, like for them, if it's not the man's child. There are people that will say, okay, yes, I'm happy to be side chick, you don't have anything to do with my children, just face me. You know, if it's the one that have children, then it is their job. You know what you are doing, you know what you are having with this person. It's your job to make sure that as he's catering for you at that time that he's catering for you, he's also catering for your children.
So if they are the side chick, like I see what she, it's not, it's to stop calling them side chick. I'm not saying necessarily marry the man, but let all of us know, do you understand? Spend time, so when it comes to a family gathering,
but that's the point I make it. Some women don't want that. Some women are not interested in that. They don't care. That's what I'm saying. They are happy with they are happy with the.
Okay, wait.
Just take care of me. I want to live my life.
So, okay, what happens to the children?
That's what I'm saying. Now that's where I'm saying.
I'll give you an example.
Take a deep breath.
That's why I'm saying that the lady.
Yvonne, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Let me flip the coins
again. Okay.
If your husband, let's say for example, or if your husband comes to you and said, Amaka, I've been with this woman for 5-6 years old, and 6 years now, and she have 3 kids for me. I want to bring this woman and these kids home. What will you do?
Right, because it has happened to me.
Okay.
I did it. I had right, okay. I'll give myself. That's what I'm saying. I give myself an example. And this is educated. We're all educated. This was even a mixed race. It happened to me. I was pregnant for my 3rd child. He told me that this woman had a child for him. I said, okay, bring this child. He said no. Then the years went by. I had my 4th child. He now goes, he's gone back to this woman. This is a true story. He's gone back to this woman, and he wants to bring the child into life. I struggled. Yes. Hand on heart, it was one of the toughest decisions. But one of the things I wanted my children to have, it was either make a choice, because the children were young. I still loved my husband then, and I would not deny it, as tough as it was. I couldn't tell anyone, because a lot of people looked at me as if I was would have looked at me as if I was a bit mad. Then she had a 2nd child for this guy, and he shared our nights. And this fight, we had the fight too. 3 nights, no, 4 nights for me, because if you know Yoruba culture is the Iyale, that's the first wife, and 3 nights for her. When we had family gatherings, he would bring, the woman never came to my house, because she was a nasty man. She used to splash water on me. She didn't like the fact that he was still with me. So that's the problem we'll have as well. She didn't like the fact that, okay, yeah, she was a side chick, but they know that she's not a wife. But I knew, do you understand? And he used to bring her, as tough as it was. Family gatherings, he would bring the children to my house. So we shared the nights. So basically, like, the women that claim that they don't mind being side chicks, no, it's absolute crap. Because she's gone, I don't mind being side chicks. Now, when the main wife found out that she was there, they don't like it. a lot of them, do you know, they don't like.
Now that she know, I have to be there.
There, exactly. That's the
Now
problem.
that
A lot
she
of them
know.
know.
So they can keep the secret until she find out. So now that she
She
knows
knows.
that I'm
She
here,
didn't like
I
it.
want to go home.
But do you know what? Okay, let me go back to the example I gave before you gave this example. We're saying the same thing. I said some people are happy to be side chick. It's also the same, like some people don't even want that side. Like, it's the same thing in the sense that I don't want to share. I want to come and do my own. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's either just like I said, some people are happy to just be where they are and just maybe enjoy whatever it is that they're getting.
But they're living in full paradise.
No, but that's for them. That's for them. That's down to the person. It's equally like the same thing. Like how would I put it now? There are people that like, no, I don't want to be side chick. I want to be the one. And for me to be the one, you need to get rid of that one.
If I ain't gonna get rid of her, so what? Why?
No, but that is this is the reality. Some people, see, it's either you want to be in it or not.
But that's the
the main thing.
Our
Some people will
westernized world. In our grandparents' days, we know that as a first wife, we know that our husbands will marry 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because
so who the hell are you to complain
no, but you see,
he's marrying?
No, but the same people we're talking about. These are all people that all came from the same culture. We're not talking about Oyibo people here. We're talking about our
so should we, because we've been embedded with the westernized culture. That's what what we're saying.
Yeah.
So that question was, should we go back and
embrace
it? But a lot of people would struggle.
Because the reason why I keep saying that, because now, even before, they used to say side chick will stay on their lane. Maintain your side chick. And the housewife maintain. But now, the side chicks are everywhere. They're robbing and raising your husband. You know,
your child will be married.
Now, there is this boldness of, if she knows, she knows. It's either she stay
or she goes.
If she goes, I stay. If she stay, I
stay.
So my question still go back. Okay, let's assume a man that you did a white wedding with. You know, you done the white wedding, the white wedding. We better know by now that the white wedding has nothing to do with our African culture. It's a white tradition. Yeah. We have adapted this that we have to wear white to white.
We didn't even adapt it. We added it to our own. Because we still do tradition and then go and do the church wedding.
And then on top of that, do cut old.
Our own in my Onitsha tradition. If you haven't done the traditional wedding, they don't. You can do all the cut, white, heaven.
If that tradition,
if you haven't done traditional wedding, you're not married. You cannot come home and tell her that you have married.
Okay, so that brings me back again.
Yeah.
In my Benin culture, where I come from, yeah, whether you do a church wedding or a court wedding,
they don't care.
If the man wants to marry a second wife, you have no say.
Yep.
If the man comes home today and tell you, hey girl, I am going to marry blah blah blah.
Yep.
It doesn't matter whether you marry for church or you marry in court or you marry. The Benin tradition do not stop the man from marrying second wife. But how many of these young women are willing to accept that? That's the question. Because you can accept white wedding that is the white culture. I was marrying in church, in the front in the front of God and the altar. But in the tradition, you still did. A tradition wedding is like a ritual.
Yeah.
It is in my Benin culture. It's like a ritual.
Yeah.
Even though you stand in the front of your altar and tell to God bless me, God, and then you went and do that tradition, it doesn't stop the man from having a second wife. So my question is, if the man comes home today, regardless of whether you marry culture, and said, I want to have a second wife, are you staying or are you going? Because the Western one said is one man, one wife.
No, I think people will stay or go depending on the situation and the person that is coming. I don't think it will have anything to do with whether you want to have a one wife, one man.
No. People that don't stay is because one wife, one man, went in church, like you said, married church.
But you went and lived down in the tradition.
If they tell you it's a tradition to marry more than two, they're not taking them because they obviously can't lead them to court or to church. That's what they call the native law and custom wedding. They can have more than one wife, 2, 3 wives. And who are you? If the person wants to get married in native law and custom, after all, my own went to do native law and custom, I didn't have a say, whether I like it or not.
So, but this is what I'm saying, that we are openly embracing our culture. As much as we want to go back to this aspect of whether we accept the man to marry another, you don't have a say really.
Really, it's a man's
But
one.
I flip the coins once more where the problem is. If the man from offset, while you two are courting or dating or whatever, and tell you, look, woman, my culture allows me to marry da 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 da. I'm not saying that I'm ready now, but maybe in a little future, and the woman accept that.
Then you have
at
no
that
right.
point,
No problem. Yeah.
she has no right to go. But some people will say, if a man tells a woman that before they start, majority of men will probably be single, because half of the women will say, I'm not going to accept.
That was the next question I was going to ask you. Which man is actually going to say that?
You see what I mean?
Some do.
Yeah.
You see, but I remember someone told me one time a few years back and said that these new millennial men have modelized polygamy. Now you can have 3, 4 wives in different countries. So when you are coming to UK, you just need one.
You have a UK wife.
You have a UK wife.
You go to Ireland. You have an Irish wife.
Which is what
Spain.
is happening at the moment with the Nigerian men here.
And they're not even married. They're just living a sailor's life.
No.
One chick for every port.
Yeah.
They'll
One
go
chick
to
for every
Nigeria.
port.
Yeah.
They'll go to Nigeria and do traditional wedding.
No, the traditional one is there. That one, they even marry it for them. But then they now come here. Some people actually even go into this because of paper.
Yeah.
No, we're not even going to
No, but a lot of them find themselves in that. Even those that don't want to do it end up doing it because they are coming to Europe, they need paper to live, so they will marry. From getting married, then they have children. Then they go back and then they go and get married. So
yeah.
I think what in fact that kind of answers the question when I say I wonder what is causing this whole thing. I think there are so many situations coming in now. I mean, back in our days, how many people were traveling abroad to marry for paper? I'm not saying they didn't, but I think there's this huge increase, which has come about by obviously the economic situation.
Yeah.
I think I want to point a hand there as well.
Yeah.
You know?
But guys, I
know.
really want to know what you guys think about this topic, because it's going to be an open debate. This is going to keep happening. So many marriages are going to break down because the man have decided to marry another woman and the woman wouldn't accept, or you find out that your husband have other children or side chick aside.
Can I ask a question? What about if the woman wants to go out and marry another man? I think
That's not our tradition.
I know, but that's
Well,
with what's going now. We're
asking about our tradition.
If we're going to go back to embrace back our culture, which we should as well embrace the spiritual part of our culture to it. But guys, if you have any comment about this particular topic and you want to share with us and your own experience as well, we want to hear your own experience as well, and you want to join us on this panel, you are welcome to do that. Get in touch with us through our social media.